Live, and a special hello to all of our first-time attendees this year in our 5th edition of the event. I am Allison Susko, VP of Community over at AssetMap, and I am so thrilled to invite you to see our first set of tech demos, where you're going to see the latest innovations and product news from really great tech companies, how they're helping to deliver human advice with their technology. Up first, we're going to have VRGL, Wealthbox, EncorEstate plans, Blueleaf, and Holistiplan. Make sure throughout the sessions you get involved with the live chat, the polls, and being able to check out the sidebar during each session. And then, of course, stick around to vote for your favorite company in the new AdviceTech.LIVE Awards. Thanks so much, and get ready for a great show. I am super excited to introduce our next speaker from Wealthbox. Today we have Steve Carroll, the head of product, who will be telling us about what's going on and the latest and greatest at Wealthbox. We are so lucky at AssetMap to do a lot of presentations, a lot of webinars with this team throughout the year. So I can't wait to see what Steve has to show us today. Steve, we're so excited to have you. Thank you for being here and a return sponsor.
Thank you for having us, Allison. It's been great working with AssetMap, and we're certainly excited to share what we have cooked up today for this presentation. So with that, I'd actually like to roll through a quick agenda and a sneak peek of the AI and automation features we plan to show you today. So first on our agenda, we'll cover a new feature in Wealthbox called AI for Reports. With AI for Reports, you'll see it's really easy to prompt and create a report from scratch, much faster than you would on your own, using AI capabilities in Wealthbox. The second feature we'll show you will be suggested actions to call and email your clients based on the context of your tasks and workflows. Very cool feature, really fast to operate inside of your CRM. And last but not least, we'll show you how to take those suggested actions and actually customize them yourselves through workflow actions, even with a contact form builder, a send to action, and more email and call capabilities along the way. So with that, I'll go ahead and pop into a quick demo of Wealthbox to show those capabilities to you. So inside Wealthbox, we have logged into our homepage, and I'm logged into the ABC Financial Workspace as Brad Creedon. And you can see here, there's a full suite of CRM features, but today in our sneak peek, I'll primarily be focusing on the 3 that we covered at the top. So the first of which we want to cover with you is AI for Reports. So in AI for Reports, we'll pop over to our reports, and let's go ahead and create a new report from scratch. So here I have the new capability to generate with AI, and I can click right into that field and get started. And so in this case, we'll just type in clients with high salary to get started. And I'll walk you through what our AI feature is doing behind the scenes. So behind the scenes, we're actually using a large language model to decide what the report object should be. It's going to name the report. It'll select any appropriate report filters, as well as any fields that make sense to select for you. And then it'll group them by any criteria it needs to. So in this case, we have a contact report named clients with high salary. You can see it's done a great job so far. It set the report filters to filter only active contacts. So in this case, it nailed it. It's going to show you just your clients. And you've got a gross annual income of greater than equal to 200,000. Now, if my firm criteria is slightly different, I can always go in here and update it to 250,000, take a peek at the fields. You know what? I want email in here as well, because my intent is to email these folks and get a sense of, what email addresses we have in the system. And then I can go ahead and save that template and run it. So suggested actions, one of the things that's really great is when you're on a contact record page in Wealthbox, you may have some things coming up that require you to reach out to your client, things like calling them or emailing them. And so if I make a task from our publisher, to email Delilah Jones with details about 401k plans, and I set that as a new task, I can just go ahead and create that. When somebody clicks into it to go get it done, now we surface an email action right in that task. So you can click directly in it and email your client right from there. So when I click on that, it opens a nice compose window. I can see that it's going to be related to this task. I can even choose from my email template list if there's an email template related to these 401k plans, but emailing Delilah Jones is right at my fingertips. Well, let's say, you know what, actually, I changed my mind. I really want someone to, follow up with Delilah Jones. And, in this case, let's make it a phone call. So we'll go ahead and set the category to phone call, and we'll save that task. Well, in this case, because it's related to a phone call, there's a call action. And we simply just have to click on it, and it'll launch click to call. And selected is her primary number, and we also have access to secondary numbers on her contact record as well. And I'm just one click away from placing that phone call. So tasks that you create and assign out to your team, whether it's email related or phone call related, they have access to quick actions right from that task to get those tasks done. The last thing we want to cover with you today are some new enhancements to workflows. These are incredibly powerful, and it's something that's unique to Wealthbox. So inside your workflows, you'll have various workflows for various things inside a CRM. And so in our ABC Northwest workspace, we've actually built out some workflows for this team who's very high touch, who wants to make sure that they're on top of every client interaction. And so if you want to build some workflows that are similar, you can do that in your workspace as well. But we've built out a workflow to basically cover qualifying new prospects. And so let's go ahead and take a look at what that workflow does for end users so that you can see what it would be like to run that workflow inside your workspace. So in this case, this is a new prospect, and we'll run a new prospect workflow. And we'll just go ahead and start that workflow for our contact, Delilah Jones. The first step in that workflow is prospect verification. And you can see here in this description that there are a lot of things that we want folks to do when they're verifying this prospect before it goes into further prospecting stages where we might email or call them to follow up. So here I can click on Open Prospect Details and make sure that we have sufficient details to follow up with Delilah Jones. And in this case, I can see we have phone numbers, we have email addresses, and we even have a referral source and who referred them. That's awesome. So we'll go ahead and complete that step and move on to the next one. But in this case, prospect is verified and unique. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and hit submit. Now, this is going to move to giving Delilah a call, and we're going to try to attempt to book a prospect meeting. So one of the things that we built into our workflow is a call prospect action. And so I can click on that and initiate click to call, just like you saw in suggested actions. But in here, I was able to predefine that for my workflow template. So there's no ambiguity about what we want to do as part of this workflow step. The second action is a different contact form from what we saw before. So you notice that first form had lots of details about Delilah Jones to verify her information. In the second customizable form, it has details about who Delilah Jones is assigned to as an advisor, what the contact source was, and in this case, it was a referral, and she was referred by Alex Goodman. So on that phone call with her, I can detail and I can talk to the fact that she was referred by Alex Goodman in my conversation with her. So let's say we complete that step, but we left a message. Well, in this next step, you can see that we'll go ahead and email Delilah Jones as part of that. And we've set email as one of the actions for our workflow steps. So when I click into that, you'll see that same compose window pop up, and I can go ahead and choose potential prospect email 1 and have all of her details pre-fill into that email before I send. So really easy to do those prospect verification workflows. Something that I want to highlight real quick before we move into what's available in our last action, the send to action, is I want to show you just how easy it is to customize that form. So I'll go ahead and pop into the workflow template for my new prospect workflow. And I'll show you that first step where we've defined that first action of opening the prospect details. So you can see here when I edit the prospect details, all those fields that showed up are simply laid out in order, and I can click and drag and drop them to any order I want. And I can even add other fields quickly via search. So if I wanted, to make sure that I had, maybe income or salary or background information, right? I can search for those things and also add them to the form. All of your custom fields, all your customizations are also available to display and update as well. The last action that I want to share with you today is incredibly powerful, and that is an account opening action integrated with our send to capabilities. So in this case, we've made a one-step workflow just to demonstrate here. And when I start this workflow for Delilah Jones, you get an idea of how powerful this can be. So we'll go ahead and start this for Delilah Jones. And we have our send to Schwab workflow action. And when I click into it, we can initiate a Schwab account opening workflow directly from our workflow in Wealthbox. So any integration that you have enabled that uses send to on your contact record is available to build into your workflows today. And we have close to 24 integrations already built with partners, and we're working on many more throughout the next year. So with that, I just want to say thank you again for having us. It's been great to show some of these new features inside Wealthbox, and looking forward to many more demos to come. And you can always go to wealthbox.com for a full demo. Thanks again.
Steve, that was fantastic. I love how you all are using AI to make things a little more customized, a little more personal to the clients, helping the advisors do that. And what a really great suite of products. Are they all three kind of topics you talked about today available now? And what's kind of the newest on that list?
Yes, we're rolling them out and expanding the beta commensurate with our AdviceTech.LIVE announcement.
Oh, well, that's amazing. We all have to have a sneak peek here at the event. And my gosh, that was really exciting stuff. I'm already a big believer in your workflows, and that's really, really great items to share with us today. So thank you so much to Steve Carroll, and feel free to go find out more at the booth for Wealthbox as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Allison.
I am really looking forward to introducing Phil Christ, SVP of Strategy and Revenue at VRGL, to walk through what is new and exciting and supporting that advisor-client relationship through investments at VRGL. Phil, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Allison, thank you so much for having us here. We are thrilled to be part of this. And look, it's AdviceTech.LIVE 2024. I'm Phil Christ, SVP at VRGL. And you're going to see a lot of really great vendors this week. But I have the privilege of going first. And if there's one thing I want you to leave with from our time today, it's that VRGL is the only solution that you're going to see that is purpose-built to help you win business more quickly. We've got 2 new features that we've been working on that I want to show you as part of our session today. It's risk tolerance and it's tax transition analysis. And so a handful of you may already know VRGL from our industry-leading statement extraction capabilities or our investment proposals. But I want to show you how we've designed our newest features to really fit alongside these great tools in the VRGL workflow. So in VRGL, the workflow starts like it always has, with statement extraction. We take the burden of manually lifting all the information off of those pesky brokerage statements, and we do the heavy lifting really for you. In fact, most original statements that you drag and drop into VRGL can be extracted, validated, and aggregated in a matter of seconds. So next time you or your prospect hands you one of those 30-page consolidated Schwab statements, have no fear, VRGL's got you covered. But new to that intake process is really risk tolerance. And I know what some of you are thinking, Phil, we don't necessarily bother with sending risk questionnaires. We assess risk off of our interactions with our clients, and I get it. But what is so great about VRGL is that you, as the advisor, can explicitly dictate what the client's risk tolerance is based off of that assessment. And within a single click in VRGL, you can actually make that selection here in system. And all of that will feed directly downstream into our analytics. Now, on the other hand, if you're interested in utilizing our questionnaire, VRGL offers a standard 15-question set that's ready to go out of the box. You can customize that before if you want to send to make any tweaks. But again, all of those responses to that questionnaire also feed directly downstream into our analytics. From intake, we get into what I believe is the most impactful segment of VRGL, the workflow of the educate portion. What better way to build trust with your prospect than lining up their goals and educating them on their investment options? As part of this process, we sit on top of your investment models and give you, the advisor, the ability to compare and contrast your prospect's current portfolio versus a proposed portfolio. We do this across pillars like performance, risk, diversification, fees, and now an enhanced tax transition analysis. So in VRGL, advisors can review at the lot level and work to develop a totally customized tax transition strategy for each client. VRGL gives you the control to unwind certain lots that may be more advantageous for your clients while retaining other lots of the same holding that might trigger a more severe tax consequence. You can also incorporate your client's dollar thresholds for things like long-term and short-term gains so that you as the advisor can build a plan that meets the needs and helps instill trust in you as the potential fiduciary. Now, once you've used VRGL to help build your story, you can begin generating bespoke investment proposals for your client, an artifact that looks and feels like your brand. And we can incorporate any of the VRGL analytics that we looked at in the educate section to help you tell that story customized for each client. Now, we all know that statistics and analytics don't really win business. It's the story that you can tell with those pieces of that investment proposal that make this so powerful. You can incorporate custom commentary. You can weave in slides from your planning system. You can paint the full picture to your client. And what better way to get a prospect to say yes more quickly than handing them something that feels tailor fit for them? I know we're running a little short on time, so I'll leave you with this last slide. The best way to get in touch with us is sales@vrglwealth.com. My team's here. We're ready. If you want to have a demo, if you just want to chat, please reach out to us. We'd love to meet you. And with that, Allison, I'm going to kick it back to you. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so much, Phil. I've been impressed with VRGL from the second I saw it. That's definitely something in the industry that I've always needed a little more conciseness and having, a little bit of an easier explanation is the investment side of things. And you all just absolutely crush it every time. So thank you so much for being here again. Thank you so much for getting a wonderful virtual booth set up, which everybody should go visit now and find out more about VRGL. And thank you so much, Phil.
Thanks so much.
I am super excited to welcome my friend, Matt Morris, CEO and founder of EncorEstate Plans, for us here today at AdviceTech.LIVE, and he's going to be presenting what's new and exciting over at his company. I can't wait to hear what they're working on. And Matt, welcome to AdviceTech.LIVE.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to see you, and I'm grateful for all that you guys have put together here to allow us to share and collaborate with other wealth tech partners. So I'll take it away. And thank you everybody for joining us for the conversation about estate planning. This is a hot topic with advisors, as there's many new wealth tech tools that are available. And so my background, just so you're aware, is, and my team's background is, we are early folks from a little firm called Riskalyze that we started at many years ago, and have now launched a platform that helps you, the advisor, facilitate estate planning for your clients. And the reason we have stepped into this gap is the estate planning client experience is just broken. It's intimidating, it's overwhelming, expensive, stressful for people, and too often it leads to procrastination. 67% of Americans don't have an estate plan. Millions have one that's out of date. I lived this firsthand a few years ago. I had a loved one, an aunt, who passed away suddenly at 73 years old. She didn't have an estate plan in place in California. And for years, her advisor had been sending her to an attorney to get her estate plan completed. She intended to do it, but she procrastinated, died suddenly one day. And I watched my two cousins go through what they described as probate hell for 2 years. They spent tens of thousands of dollars in attorney's fees, hundreds of hours of their time and effort, had to borrow money to pull off a funeral because they couldn't get access to her 7 figures worth of assets. And I have a question. Do you think my two cousins worked with her advisor when they eventually got control of those assets? Of course, they did not. And so this is a gap that exists. This is a problem for many of you that have those clients that year in and year out are not going and getting their estate plan documents put in place and kept up to date. And so there's two options that are available, have been available for years. There is the DIY online software. that exist. Illegal Zoom type platforms have been around for 20 years. And I think oftentimes people are intimidated. They don't know what they don't know. The puzzle pieces they're putting together, do they actually add up to something that's going to work the way I hope it works? They like the price point. It's obviously far more affordable, but it leaves people with questions. The other side of that is the estate planning attorney, which I know I'm going to get a good document, but I have to go to a stranger. I have to talk about death. I have to talk about end of life. I have to talk about my family dynamics. I have to download everything from scratch. I don't have any starting point with this relationship, and it's really transactional at the end of the day. And I get to spend thousands of dollars for the privilege. I think I'll wait until next year. And so what we really believe is that technology blended with the trusted advisor is ultimately the solution to the client's procrastination. And so that's you, the trusted advisor. So we're unique in that we have built our platform from the ground up to help you, the trusted advisor, step into this gap and collaborate with your client in the experience they get, so that they actually get these documents in place, so that they keep these documents up to date. And so, but why should you consider estate planning if you haven't yet? Maybe you are adding this as an option within what you can provide to your clients. And so it's really a question of even delegating this out to attorneys or third-party software or collaborating with your clients. We did a survey just recently with our advisors, and they told us that they are actually increasing their revenue by 25%. They are getting more referrals because of estate planning. They're getting a higher retention, they believe, with the spouse when they're involving estate planning conversations. And they're finding other assets they didn't know existed when they're talking about estate planning with their clients. And so there's a lot of new platforms available. And so I just figured it's helpful right now. Probably while we're on this call, there's a new one that was created. There's a lot of different solutions you can consider for estate planning to partner with a technology. And so wanted to kind of break this out for you so you have a sense of it. There's existing document review only platforms that are available, like FP Alpha. Holistiplan is adding this, where they're looking at clients' existing documents for you to do analysis. The financial planning tools have this component within them. There are platforms that are document creation only, that are helping you, the advisor, facilitate or refer the client over to a software that will guide them through getting their own documents in place. And then there are the platforms that are actually doing both of those things within one platform. Encore fits into that category. And so depending on what you want to do and what you want to focus on, I wanted to kind of at least to give you a sense of what's out there. And as you break down what you're looking for, who does what, because I think a lot of advisors are confused about the new technology available and who's accomplishing what. Encore, I'll tell you, all of these have strengths and weaknesses. I'll tell you our weakness up front. We aren't the best solution for advisors that want to delegate this out to the client and just say, here's a link, client, go for it. Encore is kind of built to be collaborative, that you are facilitating. You're more deeply involved in the funding, in dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and there with your client. So that's kind of our weakness if you want to compare our strengths and weaknesses. But one of the other things I'll suggest is go to the T3 advisor survey, where what are advisors saying about these tools? Kits' surveys as well. Encore has a really high advisor satisfaction rating in both. We were the only one named an all-star in the T3 survey. And so good data points for you to gather if you're thinking about any of these platforms to offer with your client. But let me tell you more about why Encore and what matters and how we've built what we've built. Is we're 75% software. We are 25% service to you. And that starts foundationally with a human review on every document we create. There are too often problems with bad inputs becoming bad outputs. And so we have human quality control review on every document we do. That also enables, above that foundation, a customization that your clients can actually express wishes beyond just the software inputs and make sure their document fully accomplishes what they desire. We're unique in that we allow you to facilitate the experience. It's not just send the link to the client. Client has to drive the experience. We are set up where we are pay as you go. We only get paid when our advisors do something. So we're very much on the same side of the table. We don't require a subscription to partner with us. And so we're there to help you facilitate estate plans for your clients and make sure they're up to date and accomplished. And if you don't do that, we don't get paid. And so we've approached it that we want to be on your side of the table. Lastly is funding of trusts and making sure deeds are filed. This is a really important part. Somebody gets a trust-based estate plan. They tell their kids, we're going to avoid probate. We got this trust done. They never put their property in the name of the trust. And the kids, when those clients pass, are stuck in probate trying to move a property into the name of the trust so they can actually deal with that. We want them to be able to, you to be able to deliver that as a solution turnkey that's done. So some of the uniqueness about us, at the end of the day, we really believe you are the hero. And so we partner exclusively with advisors. We don't work B2C or have other divisions that work with other platforms or B2C with clients. And so we are all about you because we think you'll deliver the best experience. And we help you do it without practicing law. And in a quick 10 minutes here, we're not going to go deep on the practicing law. If you want to learn more about guardrails that we have in place to protect you there, we have resources available on our website, our blog, in our knowledge base that go deep into training around unauthorized practice of law and share our guardrails for how we protect you. Wanted to real quick kind of talk about the estate planning lifecycle, because really what this is about is wherever your client is in their estate planning need, that you can have a solution to help them with. The first part of that is a visual estate plan summary. And so if your clients have an existing document, no one probably has ever asked to review that document. And they grow out of date when life events happen. And so you can upload that document to us. We will extract all of the client decisions out of that document and give you a nice visual summary that you can take the client through that summarizes all of their decisions in a one-page flow chart. I'll show you that in a second. We have new plans, restatements, that you can actually update documents. We do the deed filing. We do the amendments to keep the documents up to date. This is an example of our visual summary. This is what can be provided on an existing document, obviously on new documents as well. Our pricing and pay as you go, we charge basically per trust, per will, all the documents included in that, the deeds and the amendments to keep documents up to date. Wanted to kind of close out with a couple last pieces is if you're interested in hearing from other advisors and what they're doing around estate planning, we've launched a podcast that is basically just interviews other advisors and says, how do you do your estate planning? How do you offer it to clients? And so Advisor's Guide to Estate Planning, you can get there from our website. If you just wanted to hear other advisors talk about how they've implemented estate planning as a solution. Finishing up here is if you are interested in Encore, want to jump into our website, learn more, I'll pull that up actually for you, is we will give you 50% off a first will or trust-based plan or our powers documents. Use our affiliation code AdviceTech.LIVE when you go to our site and create your free account, and that will trigger that discount. If you wanted to learn more, recommend coming to our site. We have a guided demo, about a 17-minute soup to nuts overview, everything we do that is available there for you to watch. Simple as creating an account and engaging with us, or reach out, book a demo, talk to our team. And that's all I have. Thank you, Allison.
Matt, congratulations on the podcast. I definitely want to check that out. And I definitely want to call out a couple things that you said I think are so amazing, honestly. I think, there's so much technology out there, whether it be estate related or financial planning related or CRM, being able to kind of decide what fits best for you as the advisor to best support your clients. What a great approach to take. And I really appreciate you being thoughtful about that, because we all have a lot of options, and that was tremendous. And not to mention the fact this whole event is about helping the advisors and clients have that human connection, and you all having that human connection even with your own technology to ensure accuracy is just phenomenal. So really great presentation.
Thank you. Thanks for letting us participate. We're thrilled to be here. Look forward to listening to all the other presenters.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thanks for all you're doing, Allison. Appreciate it.
As we're talking about things that really are beneficial for clients and advisors and their efficiency here at AdviceTech.LIVE 2024, I don't know if there's any better guest or company to kind of commit to this and really make it valuable for both parties than Blueleaf. And today we have Blueleaf CEO, John Prendergast, who is going to be talking to us about all things efficiency, client relationship, and anything new that might be happening over at Blueleaf as well. John, so great to have you here.
Allison, thank you so much. I'm blushing. That's such a kind intro, and I am super excited to be here today. So what we're going to talk about is a little bit about what Blueleaf is. For those of you who don't know, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about client engagement, why we're so focused on it, and how it elevates the human experience of delivering financial advice. And that'll be a few minutes. And then we're going to jump into the product, and we're going to talk about how we deliver incredibly high engagement experiences. Up to 90% of your clients every month can be engaged via the Blueleaf platform. And then we've got some key announcements, some really fun stuff we're excited about, and an offer at the end. So stay tuned all the way. So what is Blueleaf? Blueleaf is an all-in-one wealth management platform. So we do things like reporting and client experience, rebalancing and trading, billing and invoicing. And that sounds pretty familiar, right? But what's different about Blueleaf is we're modular. So that means you can buy just what you need and leave the rest. So if you need client experience and reporting, get that, leave the billing and trading and rebalancing behind. And what that means is we can deliver a better experience and better reporting for 30 to 50% less. But as I said, we are totally focused on client experience. It's been a passion of mine for a very long time. It's actually how I started my career in product management, and I still lead product here at Blueleaf today. So early in the days of Blueleaf, we connected with a lot of client experience leaders, mostly in the RIA space, RIAs who really pushed the envelope on client experience and what it really meant to engage clients. And one that's become a real friend and somebody I've worked with for a long time is Jason Wank. You all know Jason Wank from Altruist, but I knew him from Retirement Wealth Advisors and Formula Folios. Jason is a true client experience expert, and we grew our early firms together, and I learned quite a lot from Jason. And the reason I mention him by name is because we've got a special announcement with Altruist coming at the end. So definitely stay tuned. Client experience isn't client experience unless clients are engaged in it. That's one of the things that Jason really taught me. And he taught me how important client engagement was to the business of advice. And I'll tell you, it's a lesson I feel like I learn every single day. And it's because client experience and client engagement solves far more problems than most firms realize. It can help clients stop from walking off the ledge. It can help fight media noise. When Jim Cramer's honking his horn, engaged clients are resistant to that. It can help clients follow through on your advice because you are in their lives. And because you're top of mind in their lives with engaged clients, you get more consistent referrals. It helps with a ton of other things as well. And when you think about the world today, the pandemic really upped the ante for what client experience and client engagement means. It means grandpa learned Zoom, grandma is on TikTok, and shockingly spends almost 300 hours a year on social media. And when you're building client experience, another thing we learned along the way from folks like Jason is that frequency really matters. Frequency really matters because for most firms, you are delivering far less client engagement than you may realize. Typically, you're delivering 20 to 25 touch points a year with your clients, which amounts to about 1 to 2 hours. And maybe you get double that if you're doing a weekly something. But what are you doing the other 340 days of the year? It's silence. Silence is the most the largest part of your experience with clients in most cases. So how do engaging services that we all use today do this? Well, if you think about Netflix or LinkedIn or some of your favorite services, and you think about what's in your pocket right now, email messages or mobile messages, those services reach out and remind you of the value that they deliver every day. And then eventually you come back to those services and use them. Tonight, you watch a show on Netflix. We do the same thing for wealth management firms. And I'm going to take you through exactly how we do that. And first, as I said, those systems are not passive, right? Netflix doesn't sit there and wait, and neither do we. It all starts with messaging and engagement messaging on mobile. But of course, you also want to be able to message in the web. And these messages should be controlled. So you can see here, this is custom branding. We can even customize for larger firms. We can customize by advisor. So it gives you a tremendous amount of control over what people see and the message. In addition to that, though, we give you a lot of control over how that message gets delivered to whom. And this is in our product now. How often or not at all, what to report on, what kind of email templates we use. And the templates are incredibly easy to build. I'm going to do one really fast. I mean, I've only got 10 minutes, so we're going to add some things here. There's another metric. We can see that and see how that gets built. You can add summaries. You can add comparisons, all manner of things that allows you to control the message you send your clients. And then, of course, where are they going to come back to? Well, hopefully they're going to come back to your mobile app, right? And you want a beautiful experience. What you'll notice here about this mobile app is it is designed with beauty in mind. We think you deserve, and your brand deserves, that really exceptional experience. So that's really, really, really critical. But of course, it can't end on the web. It has to, or end in mobile. It has to be able to go onto the web. So we're going to go through our view from the advisor side and show you what the client experience actually looks like. So what do they come back to in addition to that mobile? They get a beautiful, intuitive client portal that they can see what's happening with their money. And mostly it's balance changes that people are interested in. You can see we lead with that very simple thing. All of this is obvious. If I want performance, I just click on the performance button. If you're a planner and you want to emphasize planning, it's right here in the portal. And this is our integration with Right Capital. And you can see your retirement analysis. You can see your current plan or a proposed plan. It really makes the experience unique and special, but most importantly, easy. And our average user is actually 67 years old. So it's crazy. Now, if you're a planner, you also want to drive all of your assets into this portal and share that with your planning tool. And that means aggregation, which I almost said it means aggravation in a lot of cases, but we deliver better aggregation. How do we do it? We do it by combining multiple providers for every single account, which means more choices and better quality data and better connections. The other thing, and this is really, really unique, is we deliver direct support for your end client. Talk about elevating the human experience in wealth. Our humans help your humans, so you don't have to be the geek squad. And that is a game changer when you're talking about aggregation. Finally, I want to share some breaking news. I mentioned this earlier, but we just went live with our altruist integration. We're super excited to partner with Jason and his team over there, and they have been amazing. It's live. There are no forms. You connect online only. It's an instant connection, which is fantastic. No waiting. And we've already got 28 firms live, and it just went live a day ago. Coming soon, nearly instant history. Now that's a game changer. Document sharing, and this is what I'm really excited about, but it'll take a few months. Account opening and ACAT transfer built in. If any of this sounds exciting, and you want to learn more about Blueleaf or the other things that we did, because we really, really, really focused on client experience and not the reporting and billing and rebalancing and all, come talk to us at our booth, and we'll give you 2 months free just for showing up. So thanks. That's Blueleaf. Better reporting, better client experience, and elevated human experience for 30 to 50% less. Allison?
I have to say, before we let you go, the absolute beauty of that client experience app is phenomenal. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen one that looks so great. So kudos on that. And how amazing the altruist integration. This has really been this week, a lot of announcements around some amazing innovation, and Blueleaf and altruist sounds like a match made in heaven. I can't wait to hear more about it. That's very exciting.
We are super excited, and thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Congratulations. And thanks for being here. So I feel right at home introducing the next speaker and the next company. So I would like to bring onto the stage Tori Hoppe, Head of Partnerships from Holistiplan. Tori, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's good to see you as always. And I know the audience is excited to see what you all have to present today. And I think you're sneak peeking a new feature today. Is that right?
Yes, we are. No, we had a big announcement a few weeks back during the Nitrogen event, and Allison and I got to have a great conversation about our integration. So, staying on those themes of new and innovative stuff, I can't wait to show you guys what we've got going on today.
Well, give it to us, and I will talk to you after you're finished. You're up.
Yes, thank you so much. So I am Tori Hoppe, Head of Partnerships over at Holistiplan. We couldn't be more excited to be part of AdviceTech.LIVE again this year. So we appreciate Allison and the team for allowing us to come back. If you don't know who we are a tax planning solution software system that financial advisors are using with their clients to start that tax planning conversation. So I just love to kind of quickly give the numbers about who we are and why tax planning has taken off like a rocket. So Holistiplan is now working with over 7,500 firms, 34,000 users, and about 1 million client uploads into the system have happened. We don't take these numbers lightly. We, as a company, feel like each and every one of you is part of the family. We even have a joke of being part of the Holistifam or the Holistifan, whichever way you would prefer. So we do not take that lightly about how many advisors we have on the platform and how many of you have already been giving your clients tax planning advice, and many of you that are moving into that realm. So I always love to talk about the numbers, show them to everyone out there. We're very proud of this. So wanted to kick it off. If you didn't know who we are and why it's so important, I think it speaks volumes as many of your counterparts are already with us. Our track record of success and growth, I'd like to kind of give you guys the background of who Holistiplan is and how we started. We started in 2019. We won the XYPN FinTech competition. That's really where our founders got our start. Roger and Kevin are both advisors themselves. So this platform was built by advisors for advisors, just like AssetMap and Adam and his team. They saw a need, right? A lot of this tax planning was happening on spreadsheets or wasn't happening at all. And if you were lucky enough to have an advisor that was giving you tax planning solutions, it was, pretty rudimentary, didn't help clients a lot to understand the numbers, their personal numbers. So that's why Holistiplan started. So 2019, we shot out the gate with about 500 advisors. We landed our first enterprise in 2020. So many of you know we work with Carson. So they came on board with us in 2020. We rolled out our scenario analysis piece. So quickly after we entered with the tax report, which is that just general report that the advisors can show their clients, they were already asking for more. How do I actually model out different tax planning options that my client can take advantage of? So we quickly rolled out scenario analysis. Then we released the tax prep letter in 2021. I always love to tell the story of the tax prep letter. One of our co-founders, Roger Pine, his wife sits in the very seat that many of you sit into. She is a financial advisor herself, and said, man, it would be so nice if there was some sort of way I could collect all of the bullet points that I do for my clients on the tax planning side and just create this really nice letter for them to have at the end of the year to send to their tax preparer. And as a Christmas gift, Roger created the tax prep letter for her and then rolled it out to all of you as a Christmas gift for all of you in 2021. As our team is growing and as our platform is growing, we're ranking very high on the tax planning software Kitsy's reports. We're ranking number 1 on the planning software for the T3 Insider Information Surveys. So again, our value prop is really coming to light with our advisors between 2021 and 2023. And we also are ranking really high on our support of those advisors. So I can't do this job without tooting the horn of my team. We have an amazing support team, and we always rank incredibly high on satisfaction ratings with our customers. And that is proven in a lot of the awards that we have been given. In 2023, we rolled out property and casualty. So now you not only get to have that conversation with your client about their tax planning needs and their scenario analysis, building out those different options, you now have the ability to have that conversation around their property and casualty. So are they covered properly for their home, auto, and umbrella policies? Again, big items of question for a lot of clients. We may think that we are covered properly, but when you actually look at it, are you properly covered with an umbrella policy? In case something were to happen, you don't want to have anyone come after the hard-earned money that you have in your investments accounts because you weren't properly covered. So rolled that out in 2023, and you guys can see the Easter egg that I have left up here. Not only have we officially announced our estate planning that's gone into beta, but we also have rolled out our tax report 2.0. So that's what I'm getting to show you guys today. I wanted to kind of throw this on the screen. Again, we are a company that invests right back into our advisors, and this is all of the items that we haven't made enhancements to year over year. This is our commitment to growth. These are the items that advisors have come to us saying, hey, it would be really great if you added this, or we really want to see an integration with AssetMap, which we rolled out over the summer, right? So there's all these items that we take into account when our advisors are talking to us. Advisor feedback is what drives our product roadmap. You can see that with our commitment to growth here. So I want to quickly flip into my Holistiplan account into the tax report and show you guys what it now looks like. So if you guys are a current user, you probably know the tax report looks like this. It's great. There's a lot of data in here. You can go over it with your clients. We highlight where they land in different tax brackets. We list out the itemized deductions, Medicare Part B and D premiums, again, highlight where they land, Schedule D cap gains and losses, Schedule B income sources. All of that great data is there for them. They've got the observations here for you to go over. If they live in a state with state income taxes, we've got those state tax hints based off the federal returns. And that's it, right? This is a really great starting point for the client. But a lot of our advisors were this report is really wonderful, but it doesn't capture the audience of our clients. They love charts, they love graphs, they like to see the breakdowns of their Medi-Cal premiums, Medicaid premiums. Is there a way for you guys to expand on that? And with that, we have the new tax report 2.0. So your guys are going to see that this report is a little longer than our previous report, but the feedback that we have been getting from advisors that were in our beta program is that this was exactly what their clients are looking for. This is what they are looking for. So we still have that wonderful key figures box. Again, just that quick snapshot of what that return did for the client for the year. And then as you see, we immediately start off with a new graph for you, the advisor, to go over. So this is their tax breakdown. This is the taxes before any credits are applied. So again, right off the gate, we're starting with some new graphs and visuals for the client. And then you're going to see the marginal tax bracket we have it listed here for the client. And then we have this really great ordinary income graph for them to see kind of where they stack up. We've also got a new graph for the marginal tax bracket, the long-term cap gains. Again, listing out kind of where they land, a really nice demonstration on, what different buckets they're in. I think this is one of my favorite updates that we did, the Medicare Part D and B premiums. We actually now show you not only the MAGI thresholds of where the client is, what the total income is for this family. We break it out dollar for dollar for them, so they actually understand how much it costs. And then we also do the Part D and B, the Part D premium for them as well. So being able to give them a true value add to understand those dollar signs for them as well. Again, when you scroll through this, you're going to see all these new charts, all these new breakdowns for the client. The other item I wanted to quickly get down to you is we also heard you wanted to see the tax efficiency for your investment income. So they were able to now see the different buckets broken down for dividends, interest, and capital gains. So all of that great data from from 1.0 is still there for you. But now, again, in this more dynamic report for you to go through. Again, here's the MAGIs all listed for you still. The credits and deductions are listed out a little bit better for you, the advisor, to understand. And then, of course, the wonderful observations are here at the bottom. You're still able to customize these, add your firm logos if you choose, edit the observations out. We just made it more user-friendly and client-facing for you, the advisor, to use with your clients.
That was incredible. We love visuals at AssetMap, as you know, and really, really nice kudos to the Holistiplan team for just supporting even more what you guys are working on with really super friendly client reports. This whole event is about improving that kind of communication and relationship between the advisors and their clients on what they want to see most, and clients want to see tax reports, but actually understand them. So absolutely phenomenal job to you and your team. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to our tech sponsors for giving an amazing presentation in that group. Be sure to vote for your favorite companies using the awards option in the sidebar. And you're going to want to vote on these categories, so keep it in mind: community impact, industry disruptor, and rising tech star for those new companies as well. Voting is going to happen within each of the demo groups, and 3 awards are going to be given out at the end of the event. So be sure to stay tuned for that as we wrap up.